Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everybody? You know what I want to talk about today, Chip? I want to talk about the retail XRP holders that are simply delusional. You know why they're delusional? Because they think Kamala will support and supports crypto. Don't understand it. Haven't understood it. Still can't understand it. Actually, will never understand it. That's part of the workshop for today. And Biden to GOP voters, garbage. And lots of illegals are out there voting.
Yeah,
what is going to happen? How's that going to impact your crypto holdings? Think about that. And that's the wrap.
There
you have it.
Wait a minute. What happened to
Where's our open?
Did they change a bunch of stuff here?
They changed stuff.
They did change some stuff.
Change stuff. Whoa.
Here it is.
What just happened to our logo? It disappeared. That was weird. Everything disappeared. How are we going to do this? How are we going to start?
I'm ready. I got it now. You know what it did? It just flipped it to a different different show.
To a different thing.
Let's go.
Ready for this? Let's do it.
Welcome to On the Chain.
That was like
Crypto.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Drop where you're coming in from. Where are you coming in from, people?
Man, London.
Yeah, Chip, London is building. We love that.
At London, England, or
London,
Canada.
El Jefe, gotta love Trump. Pull up that garbage truck. Yeah, we got clips today, boys and gals and girls.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Kansas.
So that's right. So, yeah.
Millionaire crypto bros.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Where are we going to start? There's actually a lot of great things to dig into. We're going to workshop some things.
Let's do this one. I think we should
start with this one. Yeah, I think that's a good one to start with. Just put it out there. Let's talk about this one.
Let's just do this one. I'm trying to find where's the companion piece? I'll look for
there is a companion piece out there. But this one, this is the epitome.
This is peak
of peak delusion.
Delusional. Listen, it just goes to show you, Jeff, doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how much of a company you build, doesn't matter how rich you become. There's evidence of Mark Cuban, right?
Yep.
I had to repost something the other day on X because he said Harris is a dynamic speaker. I'm like, dude, you can say a lot of things, but I don't think you could get a Democrat or Republican to say she's a dynamic speaker, because she is not a dynamic speaker, right? She really can put a sentence out there that makes any sense. Anyone knows what they're talking about. She's not a dynamic speaker.
She's a dynamo.
She's a dunce. I mean, she might be the greatest thing that ever happened to America in the sense that gave Trump the best chance to win, because I mean, even Biden's looking good at this point. I mean, Biden was at least he had something going on. My God, even with this mental capacity, he was there.
Mentally incapacitated.
Oscar the Grouch does approve, yeah. I saw that one too. I don't know if I can play that clip though. The Oscar the Grouch clip. Maybe I'll play that one. That was fun.
And good morning to Caroline, all the way from
Brisbane. Hey, what's going on, Caroline? How you doing?
Or how we'd say it here, Brisbane.
We don't know many of our supporters or people that we met in person, but we do know Caroline. We hung out, had dinner, hung out a weekend. We had a couple of days at the WOI in Australia. That was a lot of fun. So it's cool that we get to see Tampon Tim. They don't call him Tampon Tim for nothing. There was that one clip of Shapiro where he actually sounds sane. Like when you listen to him talk, and how they didn't pick him and how they picked Tampon Tim, I'm like, the whole thing was destined for failure. Like he was on there and they asked him, what do you think about calling Trump supporters? He goes, I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't call anybody from Pennsylvania or anywhere. It doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't call anybody that, right? Which is what anybody would say of that. You wouldn't sit there and try to defend it. But meanwhile, you got Tampon Tim, like with the hands in the air, act like a total spaz.
He is a spaz.
Let's listen to this clip though. This one's tough though. We got to workshop this one.
Yeah, let's workshop this one. We're gonna have to cut this up as we go through it because it's just too much to handle in one.
Too much, and it's a small clip, but my God,
given nearly $12 million, mostly.
Here you are. This is Chris Larsen. I can't believe he did this interview. I quite honestly can't even believe it. But here we go.
You've given nearly $12 million, mostly in XRP, to the Harris campaign. Why are you throwing your weight behind the vice president?
Now, before we even get into the answer, why, Jeff? Just why?
Why is the question? I was thinking actually on the title or on the thumbnail, I was just going to put the word why with a question mark. I think that probably would have been a little bit better than what I put there, because the whole thing and pretty much everything we talk about today, there's a lot of whys in it. Why make certain statements? Why waltz? Why are they allowing illegals to do what they do? Why is Larsen, who has built a company in the crypto space, willing to give $10 million of his money to
10 million
somebody?
XRP.
10 million XRP.
About $5 million.
About,
break it down.
About $1,000, give or take.
Yeah, maybe.
10
$10 million.
10 million XRP.
That it isn't. That would mean XRP would be $1. That would be we'd be excited. It'd be like, yes, we'd be super excited at that point,
But to that point, even so, 5 million. Why is he going to back? And we're going to listen. He's going to give his answer as to why he thinks he's going to back this individual because of what she's done up until this point, which the current administration has done everything they can to destroy his company. But let's see. Let's listen to some of his reasons.
Drum roll, please. Let's hear it, Chris. Please enlighten us.
Wait a minute. We actually have a drum roll. We can play that
already. Is that drum roll on?
Holy shit! Like, let's not do that.
Oh wait.
That is about it. That is holy shit.
Here we go.
A short, funny segment to introduce that our next segment is clickbait time.
That's not it either, Jeff.
That's not it. Wait a minute.
That's not it either. Clickbait time. Damn.
Where the heck is the drum? That's so weird. The drums are. Oh, there we go. That's all. No. Where the drum? Oh, there it is. Holy cow! It's like everything's out of order. Very bizarre. Here we go.
There we go.
Well, we're really excited by her.
Now, does he seem excited? Jim, is there any excitement in his voice?
We're really excited. As soon as I wake up here, we're really excited. Dude, you're not excited. We're really excited. Who's we?
We're fired up.
You gave the money. Who's excited? I want to know who's excited, Chris. Please tell me.
Well, we're really excited by her economic message.
She has
her economic message. We're really excited by her. But it is funny, Chip. Why we? Who's the we?
We're really excited by her economic message. Does she have an economic message? Maybe I missed it. Let's see. Please tell us more, Chris, please.
It is a message now of
it is. Okay.
Innovation and making sure that, our American champions dominate, their industries around the world.
What?
Well, there's nothing to indicate anything you're talking about. You're talking complete bullshit nonsense here, Chris Larsen. There's no pro innovation. She put a statement. It's not even in the something good.
Yeah, he's smoking something good.
He's smoking something good.
Definitely smoking something.
He's almost like you almost feel like there's a guy at the door who's got a gun, and he's like, "You'll finish the interview," right? Almost like he's like under duress, like they kidnapped him. Chris, touch your ear if you're okay.
If you're okay. Touch your nose.
So I'm just really, really confident that this is going to be a completely different approach than I think I'll just say it, the failed policy that the Biden administration brought when it came to crypto and digital assets. Because
is he drunk? Jim, I mean, what?
Is he stupid? Is what I want to know. I mean,
right.
Quite honestly, Jeff, is it? How in the hell is it that he absolutely thinks that something different's going to happen when she was on The View and they go like, "Hey, so what would you do different?" She's like, nothing comes to mind. Then she goes on Colbert and gives her a second chance. What would you do different? I was part of every decision, and I was Okay, so nothing. But he's convinced something different's going to happen. This is what happens when you're so deep in the ideology and the leftist stigma ideology, when you're a dyed-in-the-wool leftist, that you can't, your eyes glaze over and you can't even see straight anymore.
T-Mac said this sounds like, it does sound like, I mean, he's so low key. There's just no energy, nothing, super low energy.
I think they just weren't paying attention, and they sort of outsourced it to Senator Warren.
Weren't paying attention.
Well, now we're talking they. Now, who's part of they? Now, Kamala Harris is part of they because she was the second part of the Biden-Harris administration. There you go. Balloons, baby. Balloons. Balloons. So she, like, what is he talking about?
What?
Like, this is complete delusional bullshit right here.
It was a disaster, but that is not going to be how the Harris campaign approached.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. So what's even weirder is he accurately depicts that the Biden administration, Biden-Harris, was a disaster. But if you give the reins over to Harris, it's going to be completely different, even though she's told us this will be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Approaches this. I'm extremely confident in that.
And are you confident because of meetings that you're having with her team behind
the Harris campaign approaches this? I'm extremely confident in that.
Also.
And are you confident because of meetings that you're having with her team behind closed doors?
You know, there's been a lot of meetings, I think, with folks that will be in her administration, with the industry, and not just with the crypto industry. Look,
okay, Jeff.
Maybe he's going to promise something.
She gives him a chance. Like, have you, like, how do you know this? Have you, because it's not been disclosed. It's never been mentioned as part of policy. So she asks a really good question, like, is it because you've been in closed meetings? Wink, wink, Chris. Is that how you know, Pink? And he's like, no, we just talk to people who might be in her cabinet, who might be in part of her administration, and then the industry. Is this the leftists that live in San Francisco with you? Like, which part of the industry believes the Democrats will be good for crypto? I don't understand this.
He doesn't sound like he believes the words that are coming out of his mouth. There's like there's such a disconnect. A disconnect.
Maybe they got him on something, and they just like, you're gonna get out there and preach.
They've been on a tour all around this country, meeting with business folks in New York and in the Bay Area and LA, Texas, Florida. And I think consistently what they heard is the last administration was too anti-business. It was sort of this class warfare. And that's not how it's going to be in a Harris administration. It's going to be pro-innovation. It's going to be American champions, dominate their industries. And by the way, that helps workers, right?
How does he know this? At what stage has Kamala or anybody in and around her, and the Waltz character from Minnesota or wherever he's from, at what point have they given any inkling of what he's saying? Like, there's no confidence. You ask anyone else on the street what kind of accomplishment she's had, and none of that relates to what he's saying. I mean, there's just like zero. But then you talk to Cuban, and he also is sharing a similar dialogue set. But then you talk to, Vivek, you talk to Elon, you talk to a whole host of Bill Ackman. There's a whole host of them, and they're not falling in line with what this guy is saying. It's just it's not there.
Well, the funny thing about it is he's talking in like platitudes. They're all like buzzwords. I believe the innovation and pro-innovation and pro. Okay, but she's not pro-crypto, okay? You have Warren and the John Deaton, the debates doubling down on this crypto. Oh, I'm fine with anybody buying crypto. I just, we just don't want them to have crypto. We don't want them to use it. We don't want them to own it, And so a party, Jeff, that's completely, if you look at the Democrat Party, what are they pro? They're pro-censorship. Right? They're anti-free speech because they want to make sure that it's their version of whatever you're talking about. Otherwise, it's labeled disinformation. And this goes for the entire world. It happens in Australia. I see all kinds of news out of Australia. It's like disinformation campaign. It's like, that's free speech, man. And you got a guy like Tommy Robinson, who they just put away for 18 months in the UK, who they wanted him to bend the knee to the judge and grovel and say, oh, I'm so sorry. And he says, no, I'm not. They want him to take down a documentary he did. He goes, no, I'm not taking it down. I mean, a guy that believes in his convictions. You had Bannon, who just got out of 3 months of jail because he said no to the subpoena because they were trying to set him up. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. So he went to federal prison for 3 months. And he just got out, 2 days ago. And he was talking about his experience. And he's like, look, man, you got to be willing to, to put your freedom on the line. You can't bend the knee. And I so admire like these heroes, like a Tommy Robinson and a Bannon who, just for the persecution of just putting these guys in jail for what? And the funny thing is with Tommy Robinson, they don't even have him on any, like they didn't convict him of anything. Just put him in jail because he didn't comply with the judge. And they're like, you didn't comply. We're putting you in jail for 18 months. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna try to do, but it's a bad day, man. It's a bad day. Oh, you smashed it for free. Crypto Well. He's having a holiday with his son. I like that.
Here you go. The party that mandated a vaccine ID outlaws the voter ID.
That's a very great observation, right? So this is what we're seeing is that illegals are voting in the election. There was a monumental. Do you want to put this video?
Before you put that up, I'm just putting this little statement here, and this is Bill Ackman. He went from the left to the right. We saw it unfolding. Remember, Chip? We were following his comments over a period of months. And little by little, he kept saying, look, he's getting red pilled. He's getting red pilled, getting red pilled. And now, you hear him speak, and here he is. Trump is the only candidate that's talked about accelerating the growth of the country. And he's 100% firmly on board, the Trump train. And
he's richer than
money out of what's that?
Yeah, he's richer than Larsen, but these are two people that can actually communicate in the same level. They're both billionaires, and one of them came to his senses and started using logic and reason. The other one's using ideology. That's what the problem. Ideology.
It is 100% the problem. And we saw Bill Ackman as he came to that realization. It took him a while too, because his statements on Twitter were in conflict with each other. You could see this inner conflict where he's like, I've been lied to my entire existence. I can't be part of what's been happening. I can't believe what I'm seeing that's happening. I can't support, he's like, you could see the turmoil. I can't support Trump. And then all of a sudden he's just like, well, Trump's not so bad, but he still wouldn't come out and say that. And then all of a sudden now full endorsement of Trump. And Trump is the only one talking about accelerating the growth of the economy. You have to back Trump because he's the only one that's going to save the economic well-being of this country and the future of this country. Just like Elon Musk, same thing. And these guys are 100% in that camp now. You listen to RFK, you listen to Tulsi Gabbard, they all kind of had this moment as they started moving, and you could see how they were treated by the other side. And that's the big wake up. Larsen, the fact that he hasn't woken up at this point, and all these guys, they've had to live in and around, the chaos. Larsen has been directly impacted, negatively impacted, had a massive lawsuit filed against his company by the SEC under and led by this administration. Granted, it started before the administration came in that December, but they didn't have to continue the way it went. They didn't have to say the things they did. The SEC under Gary Gensler didn't have to make the statements that they made and continue to try to dismantle innovation and crypto in this country and put Elizabeth Warren, and everything that he did with her, that whole, and so now to think that there's going to be any change here, you have the Clinton party. So you have the Hillary, you have Obama, you have all these moving pieces, and you think that somehow this is going to be different. It's when she's the one who's come out and says she wants to tax unrealized gain. So how do you take a Larsen or a Cuban and say, hey, you guys, your entire portfolio is going to be destroyed overnight if she enacts something like that?
Or pretend that inflation doesn't exist, and the reason for it, price gouging. So you're going to now penalize companies that are already running on thin margins. But this was a good Ackman clip that I tell me if you hear it, Aaron?
Who is the vice?
Okay, let me see if this is turned up all the way. There we go.
President Harris team, right? On Trump's side, we have Trump, we have Musk, we have RFK, we have Tulsi Gabbard, we have Vivek Ramaswamy. These are actually very, very capable people that have kind of joined the team. And once he actually wins, I think that a lot more very capable people are going to sign up. And I think if you look at the issues that they're focused on, Musk is focused on everything from regulation to government efficiency to waste and cutting costs. And he's obviously pretty good at that. He let go 80% of X, and it's a much more highly functioning, better product today. Kennedy's going to focus on, corruption, pharma, making America's healthy. These are, I think, critical issues for the country. By the way, part of the reason why our budget's out of balance is we have such an unhealthy populace.
Mm-hmm.
We spend an absolute fortune, as you know, on healthcare, and we have the worst health outcomes of any, major country in the world. If we can change that, that alone, we're going to save enormous amounts of money. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in the world.
So it goes on. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is one of the clips that I pulled out of there. He said, "We have a lot of bullshit jobs in government. I think we have to eliminate them." Yeah, we do have to eliminate them. Of course, it's time to get rid of them. It's time to these BS jobs that we have. I mean, my God. I mean, how are we going to go on with how many? Like, there's like jobs that you can't get fired from these jobs. You just you show up one day and then 40 years later you retire with a big giant pension. It's insane, Jeff. I mean,
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is absolutely outrageously disgusting. But on that, so Laura Shin, she is the Ethereum maxi sort of. She has a little podcast, and
on Ethereum.
She's condescending. She hates Ripple. She hates XRP. And she's super condescending on there. I wish we could just pull a clip up of her. I don't know if you can find one of her video clips, Jeff, because I don't know if everyone knows who she is, because she uses some kind of an avatar here. Like, you don't know. Like, okay, I don't know who Laura Shin is. No, but this is like peak cringe right here. Like first of all, with all the things that are going on, with Chris Larsen coming out and you have everybody coming out apparently for Harris. Mm-hmm. You just go like, hey, I want to be agnostic here. I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to go in the voting booth and pull the trigger, right? So I've always known where she's leaning, and this is just basically confirming it. She's like, hey everyone, today I published an opinion piece in Time in which I reveal my political stance. Honey, you reveal your political stance every time you open your mouth, okay? Yeah. This is not anything new. She's like, is it with the emoji with the zipper? Come on. This isn't something I would normally do since my personal political opinions aren't relevant for my work. They're all over your work. You can tell you're an all and out leftist. I mean, this is not anybody that watches your podcast knows this. I've had people from both major political parties on my show, and I don't think one's political leanings have really much to do with technological innovations, which is constantly occurring and will for the rest of our life. Well, yeah, what about the crypto companies that went offshore? What about FTX that's set up offshore because the regulatory environment here? As I've said before, and I'll say again, crypto is a nonpartisan, and the way internet is nonpartisan. Do you agree with that statement?
It is nonpartisan.
Is crypto nonpartisan? No, because the Democrats made it partisan. They're the ones.
Well, money in general should be nonpartisan, but the left took the whole the fight. They decided to declare a war on crypto because at the end of the day, if we think about it, it's not just money, it's decentralized money. It's the decentralized economy, decentralized economics. They can't tap in and put a handcuff on everything that you do in a DeFi space. It makes it extremely difficult. They can't control the smaller elements within society that are just starting to break out. They can't say, well, we're going to regulate a certain population because we're not going to allow them easy access to banking infrastructure. We're going to penalize and penalize them, and we want to keep them oppressed, and we want to keep them reliant and subservient to the government. They don't have that same outcome when you have DeFi. Obviously, they're finding their tentacle ways to weave into through a central bank digital currency where they'll control and program and control every aspect of your life. That's what they really want. But that's the dynamic here. So crypto, I guess, is a partisan thing. It shouldn't be, but it is because they don't believe in freedom.
Right. They don't believe it. It doesn't make sense to be for it or against it. No, it makes all the sense in the world because the party that's for it is the party that you should be voting for. And the ones that want is pro censorship. And, when you hear things like disinformation, according to who? Like who are the purveyors of the truth here? Huh? The Democrats? It's there, and it will only grow and become more and more integrated in our lives, like the internet has these last few decades. I'm publishing this opinion piece as an American who cares about my country and who's worried about anti-crypto sentiment could lead it to become a technological or financial backwater. Now, if you heard that statement, Jeff, you don't know anything about Larsen. You don't know who made this statement, but somebody comes out and says the reason they're going to publish this opinion piece is because A, they're American, they really care about the country, and they're super worried about crypto and the sentiment that it could lead to become some sort of a technological or financial backwater. Like, what would you think of somebody making that statement? Who are they pro? Pro-Trump?
Pro-Trump.
Or pro-Harris?
Pro-Trump, for sure.
Right. That's what you would think on its face, right? She goes on to say, I'm publishing it as an American who doesn't want to see China, which perpetrates human rights abuses every day. You're thinking that's got to be Trump, right? I mean, China, I talk about it all the time. It has the largest censorship regime on the planet. Okay, she's definitely pro-Trump, right?
Yep.
She's worried that China has the most pro-censorship regime on the planet, and she probably not oblivious to the Biden-Harris regime that's pro-censorship. It's been the most censorship administration in our history. And I believe that I'd like to use blockchain technology to chip away at the U.S.'s superpower status, get a leg up on our country in any way. Makes her mad emoji. Still, it seems worth addressing here the facts that I am a Democrat and I want Kamala Harris to win. Womp, 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 womp. Jeff, what? That's what we need. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. I mean, for real, Jeff? Like, what part am I missing? We just heard what's his name? Larsen go off about like how he's pro-innovation. Meanwhile, he picks the anti-pro-innovation candidate. I can understand if it's
saying that she's going to support innovation.
Right. I can understand if it's surprising or disappointing to my crypto audience because of how the Biden administration, Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler have inexplicably politicized crypto and even trying to punish well-intentioned crypto entrepreneurs and not just the scammers and fraudsters in the space.
But she can understand. So how does she deflect that whole point? What's her response to it? So she can understand it, but what's her response? What is her but?
Well, for all these reasons, I can understand if you choose to vote for Trump. I respect your right to vote. In fact, I think the fact that we all get to decide who we like to vote for is one of the things that make this country so great. For the same reason, I hope you're my right to choose who I like to see as president.
Right.
She missed the 3 interviews. There was another one like a couple days later where they asked her if you want to do anything different. She said no. So explain to me what's going to be different. And then the policies are so high in the sky, ridiculous. I'll give a tax credit for businesses, $50,000 tax credit. We'll do this, we'll do that. And then she started pandering to the black community, saying, "Oh, we're going to give black entrepreneurs this and that," right? When they were leaving in droves. I mean, it's just peak cringe. And then she was
humiliating.
He came out with the child tax credit. She wanted no tax on tips. She had no tax on tips. Just insane. Here's my timepiece. It's a message for Democrats, liberals, progressives who are against crypto. In it, I explain why crypto aligns with their values.
What? But Kamala Harris doesn't. She might. Laura Shin might do that. But the person that she's supporting doesn't have a clear economic policy that is going to support the innovation they keep saying that she will. She's saying it, Cuban's saying it, Larsen saying it. They're on the wrong side of history because you have a person like Bill Ackman, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and many, many others. There's a lot of CEOs that have come out to realize that they're on the wrong side of history. And you have this small group that, like you said before, are 100% making decision based on ideology, not based on, and not even to impact what's good about this country. She might as well just come out and say the only reason why she's supporting her is because she's okay with murdering an unborn fetus, and that's it. There's nothing else economic that's gone behind her decisive decision-making because she didn't explain it. There's nothing. It's just empty. It's just an empty shell, which is why it's so shocking that Larsen is supporting, other than the fact that he's stuck in San Francisco.
By the way,
he's living in that bubble.
Within 2 years and 9 months, I quit all 3 jobs. I have a theory about why. I'm not used to people telling me what to do.
Well, then I don't know why you're a Democrat then. So I'll tell you something else. That's all they want to do is tell you what to do, how to live your life, what to do. These people are just, I don't know. I just find out, it comes down to one thing. I say it and I really believe it. That liberalism is a mental disorder. You have to be mentally unfit. And the amount of mental illness in this country because somebody wants to believe they're a dog or a cat or the man thinks he's a woman. Great, but we don't have to bow down and accept that. I mean, who are we to want to like go along with you? We don't care.
See, there you go, Chad. Ugly truth is simple. They're a single issue abortion. They'll rationalize and pander for everything else, and that's it. And it's the stupidity of it. It's so irrational. It's so insane. They don't comprehend anything else that's going around. So even with Larsen, to say he's going to support it doesn't look at any of the other anything that's going on the periphery from on the global stage that has impacted this country and will continue to impact this country negatively. We've already seen chaos unfold all around us, direct result of her and Biden, and he's okay with that. He's okay with the embarrassment withdrawal from Afghanistan. He's okay with the endless war over in Ukraine. He's okay with the fact that terrorists came in and murdered 1,200 Israelis in one day. And now we have an ongoing, war against terrorists in different parts of the Middle East with Israeli hostages still being held in dark tunnels for the past year. They're okay with that. They're okay with the fact that she's embracing anti-Semitic rhetoric. They're okay with the fact that she's so weak that you have countries around the world that are taking advantage of the United States, that China is emboldened, that other parts other country despot nations, even like North Korea is emboldened. Each one of these countries are emboldened because of weakness. She exudes no confidence and no leadership, no powerful leadership. So to have somebody like a Larsen to say, hey, she's going to be good for economics, but yet completely ignoring all the other facets of what she's been doing and what she vocalizes and what she says she's going to do and the people she surrounds herself with, then you have to also then consider if this is who he thinks and can rationalize that can do well for the country. Now you have to go back and look at the companies running and say, well, wait a minute. If you're making this bad of a decision when it comes to the judgment over what would be good for this country, how are you running your company? Are you running your company the same way? Are you having the same outcome? Are you using the same logic or illogic? Then you start. It brings up a lot of concern. I think it's a direct negative, and we're still going to see outcome. But it's an interesting balance also because in that scenario with like Brad Garlinghouse, he's come out and said some interesting things, and it's almost like there's a balancing act being done right now, between the two, maybe, kind of dividing where Brad isn't necessarily, he didn't come out to support Trump, but he's not supporting Kamala Harris. And he said some interesting dynamics and maybe they're trying to walk a fine line, but Larsen is not walking a fine line anymore. He's gone all the way over in the deep end.
Well, don't you remember Arrington? We played that clip where Arrington was like razzing about being Trump, and he was a MAGA and all that stuff.
Right.
Do you know what else they're okay with, Jeff? They're okay with this. Listen to this clip here.
A migrant family of 4 in New York could get over 20 grand a month in freebies. 500 a night at a hotel, 130 a day for food, and having 2 kids in public school costs us 5 grand a month. We didn't even tack on Mayor Adams' $1,000 cash gift cards, the free health care at the ER, or the free phones and free lawyers, or the $400,000 in free college tuition per dreamer. Meanwhile, taxpayers with jobs in New York pay thousands to live in a closet.
Welcome to my 80 square foot apartment that I pay $17.50 for.
This apartment's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps long.
5 steps long.
5 steps long, yeah. So this is why, while the rest of America dies and perishes and New Yorkers, I mean, you saw what happened at Madison Square Garden, man. People are fed up. Is it enough? I don't know, to flip New York. But there's a reason Trump spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. Those polls, they know what the polls, in Wisconsin as well. He's in Wisconsin tonight. There's a reason that all that's going on, Jeff, for sure.
Mark, 2020, Biden could not get 6 cars in a Florida parking lot, but somehow got 81 million votes.
Yeah, more than Obama, sure.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Osman, I wonder what are the expectations of all the big boys supporting her on this rally, knowing that she'll lose and still following her blindfolded.
Of course they will. Look at that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, Kamala clearly explained her economics plan. She was raised a middle-class kid. She liked green lawns too. Waza posted a picture of his lawn. It was like super green and awesome looking. I'm like, you and Kamala have a lot in common. You both have green lawns. Look at you.
That's right. Why are they so focused on abortion? It's crazy. That's it. That's their issue. That's their only issue. It's been their only issue.
And the funny thing is like the blue states have abortion. And if you don't like it, you go to another state. You get an abortion if you want. I mean, it's like, and the idea is it should be a state's right. It was the Supreme Court never had when they did Roe v. Wade. They don't have the decision to make law. They didn't have the decision to say it's illegal. There was no law. There was nothing passed in Congress. And even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, their idol, their number one all time, well, maybe second all time Supreme Court judge, said it was ill-advised. She even said it wasn't a good, and it should always be states' rights. So, and they're like, they keep pumping the Trump 2025, and it's not even his plan. I mean, they go crazy. They're insane pizza, man. Insane pizza buggers, man. They are nuts. They're just nuts. Look at this. This is so we've seen all kinds of stuff happening already on this. So they shut down the polls yesterday in Pennsylvania, in one of the counties. They wouldn't let people go, and they go, well, why? You have till 5 o'clock, and they go, nope, it's going to be a long, slow line. Doesn't matter. If you're in line by 5, you get the vote. Suit him, and he won. Yep. So there you go. Look at this right here. So Rasmussen, Michigan, one voter ID with 29 separate votes already. Voted 29 times. Yeah, nothing good. Move along. So look at what
definitely going to jail.
And that's the Michigan song. The Michigan song, Pure Michigan. 29 times this person voted. Are you kidding me?
So crazy.
So
obviously got caught. But how many people do you need to do that as people start slipping through the cracks when you create chaos?
They caught someone illegal from China that cast a vote, and they can't they can't get rid of that vote.
Right. And that's their point too. Just like everything Obama did, he would do things that were not constitutional. It took it to go to court to have it overturned. But by then they've already done the damage. To this point too, you cast the vote, the vote's there. How do you get the vote back if the illegal's already done it? And so that's the chaos, because now you have to go in and say, okay, what did they vote? How did they vote? Are they going to lie? Oh no, I voted for Trump. Oh no, I voted for Kamala. The illegal that goes in there. So this is all part of the chaos. This is the Democrat playbook. It always has been. I can remember the supervisor of election here in 2018, Broward County. It was complete chaos over there, and it took it was a massive undertaking. And then DeSantis had to remove her, had to remove the woman that was in charge of the supervisor of election. It was a big ordeal. But her whole point, when people would come to her, she would say, no, it's so confusing. It's just always so busy and confusing here. But that's their purpose. That's their lie. And that chaos allows them to cheat. And that was the whole point. Was there cheating going on? Most likely. There were definitely shenanigans. There were things that were going on because it was everything's in turmoil. But that's what they want. The more they deluge the system with false things like this, so illegals, and they're sowing chaos, across the country. And obviously, again, part of their plan.
400,000 for dreamers to go to university. I dream of entering lesbian contemporary dance school at USCLA. Yeah, sure you can. Why not? I don't see why not.
And there you go. Yeah.
I think they want everyone. There's voter fraud. They're not trying to hide it. They want unrest. They do.
They want unrest. They're pushing for unrest. They would love to have unrest. They're plotting and planning for unrest. What happens on Wednesday? That's the big question. Trump wins on Tuesday. What happens Wednesday? Are there going to be riots between Wednesday November 6th and January 20th, what's going to happen during that period of time?
Well, that's if they complete the votes, right? That's the other thing. Well, this happened today in Virginia. Supreme Court stepped in, and I saw some leftists out there post on X saying MAGA's already stealing the election. Listen to this.
Incredibly pleased with the decision today, and the Supreme Court reacted quickly. I want to thank our Attorney General, Jason Miyares, and his team's amazing work. And this is a victory for common sense.
So basically, at 120,000
Illegals.
Illegals on the voter rolls, and they said they were to purge them. So, but what the reason they were fighting it, and the reason the Biden-Harris administration was fighting it, was because they said you're not allowed to remove them 90 days within election. Doesn't matter, they're illegal. The Supreme Court said pound sand, remove them now. So, and of course, the three nut jobs, the three diversity hires, the nutties, the nutters, those are the ones who, objected. Big surprise, right? It was a 6-3 to vote. But like something like that is so obvious, Jeff, right? I mean, it should be so obvious. I mean,
but that's why right now is different than 2020. Different climate. The states are prepared differently. The attorneys are prepared differently. Everybody is waiting and expecting the cheat. They're not going to allow the cheat. They're going to fight the cheat. And everything is currently being looked at with a fine-tooth comb. And that's that one presentation that we live streamed a few weeks ago. They've asked us to live stream it a couple more times, but their whole thing was, it was all based on security at the polls. It was all about cheating at the polls. It was all about things that were happening. And we saw people from all over the country that were working at the polls, regular people working at the polls and observing and monitoring. And that's what it takes. It takes people to be out there working at these polls and monitoring, observing, and getting ready to pick up the phone to call the attorneys that are waiting to file lawsuits and take care of things like this.
Insane. John Deaton put this post up. He said Bitcoin ranks as the 6th largest asset in the world, but Elizabeth Warren wants to prevent regular people from owning and holding Bitcoin in their own wallets. It's the exact same thing as preventing a person from buying gold coins or gold bars, holding them in a safe in their home. There's literally no difference. Warren claims she's protecting people because, according to her, Bitcoin is a terrible investment and it's just too risky. God forbid you make the decision of what's best for you and your family's failure. What he's pointing out right here is exactly what we started off the show with, which is the Democrats want to control everything you do. Laura Shin says in one breath, I don't want to be controlled. I want to do my own thing, right? But meanwhile, you're with a party that wants to tell you, as long as that thing you agree with is the right thing, you're permitted to do it. Then he goes on to say that they did something similar in Massachusetts in 1980. Instead of Bitcoin, it was Apple's IPO. Elites like Warren prevented Massachusetts residents, unless you were rich, of course, from buying Apple stock because they needed to protect people from making a bad decision because the stock was just too risky for regular people. In other words, they protected ordinary people from building wealth. A $10,000 investment in Apple in 1980 is now worth $15 million. And as I've said before, Senator Warren's policies do not help the poor and the middle class. John Deaton is so spot on right here.
That was good.
And I said, like, whether it's Warren, Sherman, Gensler, one thing is clear. The Democrat Party doesn't support crypto. Even Harris, despite her supposed crypto pivot, pro-crypto, hasn't made it part of her platform. And so, I mean, honestly, it just tells you everything you need to know. What more information do you need? She's the vice president. She could have called for Gary's Gensler. She could have got a press conference and say, listen, I want everyone to know that I'm pro-crypto. I don't like what's been happening with the SEC. I am demanding. She goes, I am recommending. No, I'm demanding that Gary Gensler resign from the Post. And then everybody would rally around her. And then, Gary Gensler would walk out with one of those boxes and when everybody would film it on CNN. It's like with all stuff in a box with that creepy painting and everything in a box, right? He'd walk out. No, she didn't do any of that. Hey, listen, I'm putting an end to Choke Point 2.0. She didn't do any of it.
Nothing. Zero.
She claims she can't because she's the VP.
But there is no pro-crypto pivot. Who said she had made a pro-crypto pivot? At what point do we have a pro-crypto pivot? Where are her statements? Where's her policy? What has she said? Nothing.
Well, this is what we've been gaslit this whole entire time. I wanted to bring up this this whole thing. Let's get into this garbage thing here. Go ahead. Say that.
This this is a big deal here because, Chad is saying we don't have COVID or BLM riots. And that's a really good point. However, what we do have are millions of illegals, and we have
20 million.
thousands upon thousands upon thousands of gang members that have infiltrated from Venezuela and other places. And there was a report today that said their numbers are in the thousands. So it doesn't take much. You put them out on the streets and you start rioting. Whether they use them, does Antifa rise up again? They're already burning some of the ballot boxes. There's no riots yet. The point is, are they going to riot now or are they going to riot after? I have a feeling if they are going to riot, it's going to come after. There's, a lot of commentary on it, what could happen starting November 6th, with the turn, or maybe nothing happens and it's going to be a peaceful transition. Or the Democrats, that they have something else up their sleeve where they're going to try to change the movement of power. We'll see. If they're going to stick by the book, they claim that, Trump was going to be a dictator and wouldn't leave office. Well, they cheated and he still left office. He still, and they made way for the incoming administration. This time, we have a lot of governors that have to go. You've got good point. The Michigan governor, she's a nut job. So you've got a lot of states like that. And I was talking about like people's mentality. There just seems to be, there's been a dramatic shift, I find, in people's emotional state over the past 6 months to a year. And certain states are suffering more than others. You can sense it, you can feel it. And I think Michigan is one of those states. I've spent a lot of time there, go back there often. But I feel that there's something emotionally different than what it used to be, mainly because of what the governor has done and the overall presence of where we're at, currently as a country versus Florida, where we're the free state, right? This is the free state. They're not. We saw what they suffered through, but I think that had some sort of an emotional hit on people. And we need to overcome.
So trying to silence Republicans on YouTube. Hello.
Right. You saw what was up with that Rogan thing. You couldn't even find it on YouTube.
Well, you had to go to Joe Rogan and then find it, but they were like banning it. You couldn't search for it. But if you went to Joe Rogan's page, it was right there. But I think it's over 40 million right now. It's like it's crushed. Yeah. It's crushed like a whole year of CNN shows. I mean, it's insane.
It's crazy.
So I mean, the mainstream media has lost a lot of their influence. They're really upset with X because they used to own that platform and just deplatform everybody. It wasn't the narrative. It wasn't the official state-run media stance. Trump put this post up on X. He said, "While I'm running a campaign of positive solutions to save America, Kamala Harris is running a campaign of hate. She spent all week comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. Now, on top of everything, Joe Biden calls our supporters garbage. You can't lead America if you don't love American people. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have shown that they're both unfit to be president of the United States. I'm proud to lead the biggest, broadest, and most important political coalition in American history, welcoming historic numbers of Latinos, African Americans, Asian Americans, and citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And it's my desire to be president of all people." It's a great post right there.
It's an outstanding post.
It's so spot on, and it's like if you saw some of that documentary, you were watching Trump live, somebody else was typing it for it, but he was dictating what it was and they were typing it in, and it was all his. It's not, and you really believe that Joe Biden's putting those posts up or Kamala Harris is putting them up? No, I have very little thought that that's actually happening, Jeff. I mean, there's none at all. So let's start.
Look at this comment. I find this interesting before we go into that. Here's Sir John. He's talking about Michigan with the Flint water crisis, and how poorly the government handled it. This was under Obama. Remember, he went and took a drink of water. He just touched his lips to the water. Was trying to make it seem like it was safe, the Flint water. There was a whole ordeal. The governor of Michigan lost as a direct result and made way to the chaos that we've seen unfold over the past number of years because of that. But I find it interesting. Sir John is so honed in on things that are happening here politically right down to the Flint water crisis.
I'm so impressed that the people that comment on my stuff that have anything intelligent to say don't live in the U.S. And that's probably why. There's your first tip off that why it's so intelligent, right? They're educated, they're smart. But here we go. So it started off with Trump on the plane as he arrived in Wisconsin, and here he is.
Hello, everybody. This is Donald Trump, and 250 million people are not garbage.
So there's the first thing, right? So then he landed. He's got the garbage man vest on. But the best part is he's still wearing the tie. Like he never takes the tie off. He's got the tie underneath it. Here's a shot of the garbage truck at the airport. His own. It's got a big Trump sticker on. It's got flags coming off the back, right? I mean, it's fantastic.
It's awesome.
So Trump gets in the garbage truck, and he does a press conference from the garbage truck.
I like my garbage truck. This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
So he did a whole press conference.
Awesome.
They're asking him questions while he's in. This is trolling 4.0 right here. This is like, epic right here. I mean, my God, he's got the Trump Make America Great. How fast did they put this together? Okay, we got to coordinate. We got to get a garbage truck. It'd be great if it was white, painted all white, put a Trump thing, Make America Great on there. And that's like it's painted on there. It doesn't look like it's just stuck on there.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a nice graphic. It's a good.
Good. What a phenomenal way to and then on top of that, we had here's another. Let me throw this video up here. This is a good one. Let's see, where is it? Gotta find it. Oh, so that's
what it is. That's the lawsuit.
Vivek actually rode along in a garbage truck with that.
Yep.
All right, let's do it, man. I got it. You got it? Yeah. Tell me, what are we doing here? Okay. Right up to here.
My garbage pickup. I have that same kind of a can. I just put it in there, and a big arm comes out.
As far as they have the big arm with the forks,
and they lift over. And then what are we doing?
It doesn't take anything like this. I'll never get out of the truck.
Pull them both out.
Yeah, the guys don't even get out of the truck for pull out.
Doing it right? Pull this one back too, or you good? Sweet. Pretty good machinery, actually. It kind of works.
It kind of works.
Pull it back again? No, this goes up. Should I pull it? Yeah, pull it out. Pull it out?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's how what he pulls the...
All right, man. Let's do it. Thank you.
That's
pretty good. Yeah, see? The machinery's good. It's good machinery. I mean, it's like...
You didn't even have to use the bat once.
No, I know, exactly. Well, sometimes you might need to, actually. It's a... the machine works really well, man. All right, let's get some more.
Hello, everybody.
That's awesome.
Donald Trump.
That's awesome.
How funny is that, man? That is some good stuff. That's some good bits right there.
Great to see him do that right away.
You take something negative, turn it into a massive positive. Holy cow!
I like
it.
Then
we've got Byron Donalds on CNN talking about it, and this is a phenomenal response right here.
My response is that the first statement from Joe Biden.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Is the one that he truly believes. He does not think that people who disagree with him or his party, who support President Trump, are Americans. He thinks that they're garbage. That's a fact. And the reason, what I go back to is 4 years ago, around this same time, it was Joe Biden that went on the Breakfast Club, and he famously said,
if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That if you couldn't vote for him, then you weren't black. It's the same Joe Biden. Made the same type of statement 4 years ago. So this is consistent with who he is. Look, I think right now what we have is a contrast in presidential campaigns. Donald Trump has been on the campaign trail talking about fixing our country, ending a lot of the travesties from the Biden-Harris administration, making America great again. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz for that matter, they're running around talking about the rally, and MSG was a Nazi rally.
Donald Trump's got this big rally going at Madison Square Garden. There's a direct parallel to a big rally.
You're talking to 6 people. Imagine that.
Rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden.
You stand by that comparison though, to a Nazi rally?
Look, the rally, you saw it for yourself.
Well, Laura, I spoke at that rally. So did Harry O, the founder of Death Row Records. So did Vivek Ramaswamy. So did Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think the Nazis will let us speak at their rally. So that hateful rhetoric is coming from the left, and it's got to stop.
This is the Nazis would let us speak at those rallies. That's so freaking funny, man. Oh my
They're
god.
so disgusting. Though they lie so easily. They believe they're garbage. They say what they say, and it's just it's crazy. Yeah, I like this, and that's Byron laying down the ordinance, and they're hammering them at every step, every direction they move. They're just hammering. Because you can only lie so much. Everything is recorded. Everything's out there. Everybody knows. We know what the truth is. And pathological liars. That's it. Elian Tron. They are pathological liars. But it's so disgusting that they repeat it over and over and over and over again, thinking that they're going to get
Kamala's ellipse rally here in DC, and literally the whole crowd going back in the ellipse are just like free Palestine Jew haters. Take a look. It's your whole crowd. I kid you not, your whole crowd.
It is true.
It's the whole crowd. See, some Democrats want to deny it. It's the whole crowd. Kamala Harris and her Indian voters, I guess, hate Jews. I don't know. It's wild. Just take a look at this. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Talking about some revolution. They want a revolution. I don't know.
I thought that guy was getting his ass handed to him in about another. He's like, dude, you're like in the belly of the beast, man. Like, show a little decorum. He's like, they're just haters. They're haters. Look at them. They're all haters. They're all haters.
The crypto guy.
Then we had Brett Favre, who's ex Green Bay Packers quarterback.
Address the comment that Joe Biden made yesterday or last night that said the supporters of Donald Trump, us, or garbage.
So quick.
I can assure you we're not garbage. How dare he say that looking out? I see police officers, teachers, nurses, grandparents, students. I see everyday Americans that make this country great.
Yeah, he's right. I see people that do make it. And so I saw this. This is a good one. This guy, speaking of the Packers, so
Madden voice.
It says former Packers kicker Chris Jack has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. Well, Chris Jack commented on it. He's like, obviously, I was born with a brain. I've not endorsed that nut job. I suggest and blocked John as I did some time ago. Mega. I was born with a brain. This is the greatest thing ever, man. He's like, of course, I'm endorse that nut job. This is fantastic. I'm never deleting this app. This is the greatest app ever in the history of the world, man. I love X. It's the greatest thing ever. Holy cow, is that fun or what, man?
Surgeon saying, how's it going? U.S. Constitution will get mandate anti-Semitism amendment. I don't think so. I don't know that it's going to go that far. If they get rid of the lefties, then things will start dying down.
The problem is it's already protected. You know what I mean? Gad Sad had this to say. This is probably one of the funniest things I've said. He said, I say this with absolute certainty. I am sure that I have read more in the past month than the lobotomized cackler Kamala Harris has in her entire life. She knows nothing. She stands for nothing. She has no personhood, no charm, no humor, no charisma, no knowledge, no entrepreneurship, no warmth, no emotional intelligence, no ability to connect with people, no depth, no profundity, no accomplishments. But she has lady parts of color, so she's my all Kamala voters.
Lady parts. I like that.
The lady parts.
Lady parts.
Lady parts. Just lady parts. I was like,
lady parts.
Yeah, that said it's the best, man. I never miss him and Ackman are the best. We're so smart.
They're funny now. Yep.
God almighty. I think we're coming up on, geez, we just did this in 1 hour, Jeff. Can you believe it? We did it all. But I'm gonna
except for this right here. What do you think about Elon Musk? They did the giveaway. Philadelphia court. A judge orders all parties attend a court hearing on Thursday in a lawsuit seeking to stop a PAC controlled by the billionaire from awarding $1 million to registered U.S. voters in battleground states ahead of the election. So they're trying to say that it's an illegal lottery.
No, but he's saying if you sign his petition and you're a registered voter, then you enter to win the thing. It has nothing to do with voting, so they're going to
Right.
lose.
So the
They're
judge is
lose.
going to lose. Just one more way for them to,
Listen,
get some headlines. And he knows where he stands.
They're okay with every CEO coming out in favor. They're okay with Chris Larsen coming out in favor. They're okay with everything, but God forbid
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's play this one last video and get out of here, Jeff. But this is a good one.
My fellow Americans and the other half of you that is garbage, it's your boy Dank Brandon here. I wanted to take a moment to explain what I meant when I called half the country garbage. Look, garbage isn't always a bad thing. Sure, you stink and no one wants to see you, but you can become something useful when properly handled, like fertilizer. So basically, yes, you're shit, but you have the potential to be more. Anyways, vote for Cackles or don't. I don't give two shits anymore. Dank Brandon out.
Brandon out. Unburdened by what has been, one can't not love Kamala. Seinfeld is two-tier humor compared to her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's what has been burdened by what
has been.
Please, I hope we're unburdened by that nut job soon, because guys, next Tuesday is election. Jeff, we're
gonna live stream.
We should live stream that.
We will. We're gonna live stream Tuesday. We'll be here at 8 p.m.
Tuesday we'll be here. We'll be live streaming it. We'll be talking about.
That'll be fun.
Results come in. We'll be watching them, monitoring as they come in, calling
drinking.
And drinking too. Oh, that's going to be part of it. We'll be drinking too. Okay, that's part of it too. All right, now I'm in. I'm there.
Everybody, get your favorite drink. Meet us here Tuesday, November 5th.
Watch party. We'll call it the watch party, because I mean, you missed the watch party for Deaton's.
No, I did.
That was a lot of fun. I was really happy I did this. I loved watching it with everybody and hearing everyone's comments.
That was awesome.
It was really great.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So that's what we'll do. We'll have the whole 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, November 5th.
If Trump wins, the cheaters weren't smart enough. You lose. Well, they're going to cheat. They're already cheating. It's not like they're not cheating. Let's not pretend like everything's on the up and up. We got that nut job from what was it?
Just the
was leaking the codes to the machines so you can alter the machines. He's put up the same one that was trying to get Trump off the ballot. Yeah, I'm sure that's normal. It's pretty normal.
It's the extent at which they have to cheat.
Insurrection Day. Make fun of those nuts for the world's sake of health and future. Please, please elect Trump and save humanity. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Saving the world.
Appreciate that, Osman. All right, we'll get out.
Thanks. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Dreams. It was Welcome Back, Carter, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We get a strike now, Jeff. It was too close.
It was too close to the actual song.
Welcome back. Dreams, and I never knew the words of that song. I just never knew the words of the song. You know,
that's all I know.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Why don't we close the song out? We'll just keep saying welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. Yeah, it's working. Welcome back. It's working. John Sebastian, you're right. John Sebastian. Look at this.
Man.
Smart man.
I would never have known that.
Right here on the chain. God, just don't
if we don't know something, we don't have to go to Google. We just go to the chat.
Something, they'll correct us. They'll be like, no, that ain't right. It's this. And you'll be like, oh, okay, you're right. That's what I love about this audience. The dreams to your ticket out. That was it. Welcome. that was the first line. Your dreams to your ticket out. Shit.
Man.
That was it. Your dreams.
When was that show from?
70s.
Damn.
It was 1970. That's where John Travolta got to start. Barbarino. Wasn't that a show or no? That was Welcome Back Carter. No, was it?
Was he on Welcome Back Carter? Was Welcome Back Carter in a classroom?
Welcome Back Carter.
Yeah, that was in a classroom, right?
Yeah.
And John Travolta was in there, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the
Gabe.
He was the student.
Gabe. Yeah, this is it right here.
Oh, you know who else came out as a douchebag? And the Fonz.
Oh no! Did the
Henry
Fonz
Winkler.
Kamala too? Shit.
Yeah.
Not
Which
the,
I don't know because I always thought he was conservative, so I could be mistaken.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
Let's
it's very, very. See, John Travolta. That was Washington. He used to say, "Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter." What was this dude's name? What was that dude's name? He had that really squeaky voice. Epstein. I don't remember the chick's name. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What was his name? Come on, we're waiting for everybody to sit on it. Yeah, Gabe Kaplan. That's it. Gabe Kaplan, Vinny Barbarino. Sit on it. That was it. Sit on it. Hey, sit on it.
Yeah,
Son of fun. Who was this dude? What was his name? Gosh, come on, guys. The squeaky voice. He was like the. I'm waiting for it. I don't see anybody popping in here, man. They got the Kaplan. They got the Vinny Barbarino.
Oh. Yep, here it is. Henry Winkler, proud to be a Kamala man.
Horseshack. That's what it was. Horseshack. That's right. Well, there you go. Squirrel. And we're off to the races. Something so random, Jeff. Let's welcome back. The dreams are your ticket out. There you go. Oh, God. Now I'm going to get on welcome Cotter.
I wonder if this is a joke, though. Is this a joke? Do you think?
What's that? By the way, you want to see what these guys look like today, Jeff?
Which guys?
This is Gabe Kaplan today. There's Robert Hedges. He played Epstein. Marcia Strassman. Ron Palillo. That was the one that played Horseshack. John Travolta. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. That was Washington. I don't remember who they were. But yeah. John Travolta looks about the best out of all of them.
I think so, yeah.
And well, Robert Hedges, I don't know when that picture was taken, but there you go. Welcome back, Kate. Wish we could play that. That'd be fun, but no, we can't. I don't know if that's any good to watch. But anyway, we were going to get out of here on time.
Sad that I know all that.
But there's, I wish I could make room for other stuff in my head and just get rid of some of this stuff, Like I have every Brady Bunch episode trapped in my skull. I don't know why. Maybe because I watched it 30 times when I was a kid. I don't know. It's just incredible. Thank you and good night.
Did you both eat some gummies? Eat the same gummies?
No. Thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night.
No, we got to get out of here. Listen, we'll see you guys on.
Is it already 10 o'clock?
It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
You guys will see you on Saturday. And
Thank
that's
you
all I know.
and good night.
Thank you and good night. See you guys later. Chip and Jeff. Oh.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.